We've had a threat of freezing weather coming here in the next few days, and I've got several beds in my zone wooden gardens that have not completely ripened. Good afternoon there, School of Permaculture fans, friends, and family. This is Tom, aka Farmer Jackson, out here at Dancin Creek Homestead. We've had a threat of freezing weather coming here in the next few days, and I've got several beds in my zone wooden gardens that have not completely ripened, and some of the leafy vegetables I have not completely harvested to my content. So I'm going to do a little short video here today on how I plan to protect them from the freeze. As many of you may know that have done this sort of thing before, it's not really the cold temperature that causes you problem with your plants, your tomatoes, your lettuce, your berries, whatever it is you have. It's that moist air that falls on the plant and then freezes. That's what kills the plant. That's what damages your fruit. So if you can see here behind me some of the beds, I'll give you a better look at that as I get to them. I've got tomatoes, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, eggplants. I've got rosemary in there and all kinds of other things in there. Oh, basil, cinnamon, sweet Thai, and I'd like to protect those as long as I can into the winter. And if we're just going to have a couple of days freeze this weekend and it's going to warm up again, I sure don't want to lose those. So I'm going to walk over here and get prepared, and we'll come back up and pick it up when I get over here to show you how this is done. It's a quick job. It's probably about 10 or 15 minutes per bed to knock these out. I need lengths of rebar. I have some 1/2 inch water pipe from the Home Depot. It's like $2 for a 10-foot section. And then I've gotten, normally people like to use heavy duty poly, the 6 mil poly. That stuff was pretty expensive. I went down to the 4 mil and it was about half the price, and since I'm just trying to keep moisture and dew off of the plants, I'm not too worried about heavy winds or such like that, rain pounding on it at this point. I went with the cheaper material. So let me get over here and get set up, and then join me back as I show you how this is done. Alright folks, now we're at one of my beds here. This is a wicking bed that we did. We watched some time ago one of the tip of the days that Nicholas put out, and we were able to reproduce that successfully. And we've got this bed here. It's got tomatoes in it, eggplants in it, it's got mint, kohlrabi, some kale, some green leafy lettuce in it right now. Some of the things I'm about done with. Some of the items in here, they need a little more time, and I want to protect them from the frost that's coming. So what I did was, if you can see down here, I've got a piece of rebar right there. That is about a 4-foot section of rebar that I got from the Home Depot, and they were actually 8 foot. I cut them into 4-foot sections, and on 3 points on this bed, about 3 feet apart, if you do your calculations there, I drove those about 2 feet into the ground. So there's 2 feet in the ground and about 2 feet outside the ground on each of those. Then I got right here, this is a piece of 3/4 inch PVC. It's just the plain cheap PVC, not the Schedule 40. You want the lightweight stuff so it will bend for you and easily make the arc that you need for your bed. Drive your pipe in there, as I said, and then slowly take your PVC, and you can see as I'm beginning to try to bend this right here. You want to have this, you may want to take this in the house to warm it up a little bit, because I've snapped one already this morning because it was too brittle and cold. So you just get it on there where it will attach, and then you can slide it and adjust it for the height that you want to have for your bed. Really easy to do to build the frame for that. That's a square bed frame. Over here I have a keyhole bed that I have placed my rebar in clock positions such as noon, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. And then you do the same thing with your PVC pipe. Attach it, slide it over the rebar on one end, and slowly bend it. No hurry on that. If you try to bend it too fast or too sharply, you'll snap it, and you'll have to go get you some more pipe. And then just slide it down on top of the rebar as you see there. Next, we're going to get my poly, and I'm going to show you how that is stretched over the top, and then how I secure that. What I have down here is a bucket of some clamps, I guess you would call them. They were really cheap. I had them for when I had my garden beds last year out there in the soil, way out there. And I made a similar type of connection like this, and I just used these clamps. These clamps were like $1 a piece on sale at the Home Depot. I've had them for a while. They got in a bucket of rainwater. They got kind of rusty, but they will do the job for me. So just hang on here a moment as I open up the poly, and then you'll be able to see me spread that over these clamps and hold them up. Back here now, I got my poly. I'm just going to show you what I got here. This is 10 foot by 25 foot. 2 rolls in here of that length each. So what I've done, I believe this was like $19, so $10 a roll. You got to cut them in half, so that's $5 per bed for the poly to put on this thing. This is 3.5 mil. I said 4 mil earlier. This is actually 3.5 mil. Plenty good to be able to protect the frost from falling on these plants here. So I'm going to drop this down here, and I'm going to pick up my piece of cut poly, and you can see in the background that one bed there. I'm going to do a little bit of a breeze here. I'm going to do my best to spread this out and clamp it down for you guys, just to show you a quick one on how this is spread out over these hoops here and what it looks like when it's done there. And just try to spread this out. And I'll grab a couple of my clamps here as I go. Kind of hold this in place. Bend it over the back side. I'm going to suggest, if you can, get somebody to help you out with this, because it's a little tricky. But you get the idea. You come around here, and once you get it kind of where you want it, tuck it like a Christmas present. I don't know if you can see that or not. You wrap the corners a little bit to help hold it tight so wind won't get up underneath it and catch it. But that's kind of a quick demonstration. You can come back. It's a lot easier if you have someone to help you out, help pull it taut, and hold it while you put your clamps on. This end over here, it's blowing a little bit. I'll fold that over like the end of a Christmas box and put a clamp on it and hold it in place as well. But just make sure that all of your vegetation is tucked up underneath that cover. If you have anything that's sticking outside that cover, when that frosted dew falls down, it'll cause you some problems on those. So I hope this is helpful to some of you folks, and I will take some other pictures of my final covers once I get them all down tight and send them in to Nicholas, and that way he can post and you can see what they actually look like with the photograph when I'm all done with them. But hey, thanks for the opportunity to share this with you, and this is Farmer Jackson, Tom, out here at Dancin Creek Permaculture Learning Center. Have a great day.